Good morning. Welcome to your early morning intuitive guidance for this fine Wednesday. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum here with some words of wisdom to start your day off well. And we'll give it a minute for everyone to begin popping on here, all of our practical rebels. And then I'd like to go back over our invocation for divine right timing and divine right order, and then share our card for today. Good morning, Nancy. You're the first one popping on. Glad to have you here. Welcome, welcome. So yesterday I was talking to my coffee group, most of whom are based in Upper Michigan, and they had 4 inches of snow. Lucky them. Then they were all saying, and you can tell it's what people are used to, right? So they're like, yeah, it's already melting. I'm like, ew, 4 inches of snow. Good morning. Thank you for the sunrise. Very pretty, very pretty. I was seeing some, I don't know if it was aurora or what it was, but I could see the lights kind of rippling. It didn't really show in the sky, but it was kind of interesting. Good morning, Abigail. Welcome. Glad you're here. So the rebels starting to roll in here. Yeah. So how's everybody doing? Hope we're off to a good start today. I had a great day yesterday. I got to go out for lunch and for supper, so it was an awesome day. Had some good conversation with people. Good morning, Maureen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Everybody here. So we'll give it another minute. Let's do a little breathing and a little tapping. So pick your spot. Nice deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. I was just sneezing like crazy, so in through the nose is kind of interesting. But in through the nose, out through the mouth. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to everybody as we get our day started here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Of course, if my Australia contingent is on here, it'd be your end of day instead of beginning of day. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And one more, holding at the top, in through the nose. Hold. And let it go. Awesome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, as I said, just for a review, because it's been a couple of days, let's start with our invocation for divine right timing and divine right order. Because the more we can keep this in mind, the more the things that are going on externally around us are not going to stir us up. Good morning. Good morning. Glad everybody's here. And that fits so well with today's card. Good morning, Mel. Glad you're here. Which is elder. And one of the things that I noticed about elders in my world is they're oftentimes relatively unflappable. They've been around the block quite a few times. They've seen stuff repeat, repeat, repeat. They know the drill. And good morning, Barb. Welcome. There can be some peace of mind to be had when we heed what the elders have to say about things like, be patient, give it a while, see how this unfolds. Don't rush into judge, don't rush into make changes, allow a little bit and see what happens. So we'll review our invocation, our 4 statements, and just kind of let them sift through your system, resonate through your system, and see which one, if there's one that does, kind of rise to the surface to be savored today. I think that's a great way to put it. All right, so here's our first one. We'll do call and response. Today the divine will show me the way. Just let that resonate a bit. Today the divine will show me the way. I'm open to all signs and messages. Good morning, Jonelle. I'm open to all signs and messages. The perfect steps are already picked, and I am guided to them. The perfect steps are already picked, and I am guided to them. Moving through the world open to constant help gets easier and easier with practice. Moving through the world open to constant help gets easier and easier with practice. So there's our 4 statements, our invocation for divine right timing and divine right order. And I think it dovetails with our card for today. So we have the Native Spirit deck by Denise Lynn, who is Cherokee. And it's interesting because the amount of overlap between the Western Plains Indians and the Native Americans who are in the Midwest and along the East Coast, there's a lot of overlap. And it makes sense given that they were driven from their native lands west further and further. So, elder. And notice the big stag in the front and the others kind of in the mist. Good morning, Beth. Glad you're here. Elder. So another breath in. Let it go, opening yourself to receiving this message. Card meaning, confidence, entering your power, standing strong. You are a leader, stepping into the light. Let your truth be heard and felt by others. Make a stand in life. You carry deep inner wisdom. You are a teacher and a leader in the deepest sense of the words. You are a beacon for others. And again, that doesn't have to mean you are on stage, loud, demanding attention. It may be you're standing at a distance watching your people, offering guidance and support when asked. Sometimes offering guidance and support maybe when not asked, but in a gentle way that's consumable by those to whom you speak. Your native spirit wants you to know. In native cultures, the elders, tribal chiefs, and clan leaders are looked to for advice and leadership. When this card chooses you, it's time to step into your leadership role. And interestingly, there were several people I knew who were considered elders, and they basically made the point that simply because you're old doesn't mean you're an elder. It's the wisdom keepers, the ones who hold the knowledge, who are willing to share the knowledge when they feel you are ready to receive it. An elder walks the path, stomps the grass down, and throws the boulders out of the way so that the path is easier for others. Sometimes elders allow you to bang your head against the wall, go down a seemingly wrong path, fall on your face, etc., because that's where the learning's going to happen. Sometimes you might find yourself alone or tired, but know that what you're doing is making a difference in the lives of many. I will say, you never know when you've touched somebody. Sometimes they'll tell you. Sometimes you won't hear for like 15 years later when you get a card in the mail thanking you for having said a certain something or done a certain something. Sometimes you never know. But those ripples go out there. So we need to tend to our behavior, our advice, our way of living, because others are watching. They're learning from us. The greatest leaders are those who know how to serve, supporting others to reach their dreams. Jim Rohn, who was a great philosopher, in my opinion, I mean, he was mostly known for being a businessman, but he was a great philosopher, said, the best way to get what you want is to help others get what they want. Even if you've been in the background in the past, right now it's your turn to step forward and become the light for others. And again, you might be that beacon that is the soft light that draws people in. Again, maybe not the lighthouse with the big swirling light, but maybe the soft light that invites people in. The journey. Being an elder and a tribal leader means speaking your truth, even if it's hard and even if you're afraid. If there's anyone you need to stand up to, this is the time. And standing up to doesn't have to mean yelling at the top of your lungs. It may be a simple look in someone's eye and say, no, that doesn't work for me. No, that doesn't seem to be working for us. It can be far more subtle. Being a leader means supporting others. So if there's anyone you need to support or make amends with, this is the time. This is the time. So here's our card. And again, right now we are in that period where we're putting effort into coming back together as one. It's been a long time since we've viewed ourselves as one. United States of America, that united part, we got to work on that. So how can we bridge gaps? How can we narrow divides? How can we find common ground? All of those things are useful and productive. And as we move into the holiday season, so needed, so needed. If Great Uncle Harry's going to be at Thanksgiving and he drives you nuts, go back to our first and second Common Ground conversation, because it's been a year since we started doing Common Ground conversations, and they were designed to begin to cross that divide, especially at holidays. How do we coexist with people who believe very differently than we do? How do we honor their beliefs but not give our own up in the process? So if you need to revisit, they're on my YouTube channel, and they're also on my, the Facebook would probably has gone away since then, because after 30 days, they get rid of everything now. But my YouTube channel, absolutely, it's there. So that's where we're at for today. Elder, be in that shining light, be in a beacon. Again, it can be a soft light, kind of like this. Draws you in, doesn't it? Notice, where might your wisdom be useful? Ask permission. I have a little feedback for you. Would you be willing to hear it? If the answer's no, be quiet. If the answer's yes, or if down the road they come back and say yes, gently deliver whatever message you think is important to deliver at that point. Come from the place of, is this message going to be of use to this person? Is it going to help them move forward with their path in life? Not the path you think they ought to be on, but the path that they're walking. Yes, taking the war out of our words, absolutely. How we say something is oftentimes far more important than what we say. We can say something in a way that the other person absolutely is going to be pushed into reactivity, and we're off to the races. We can say that very same content in a way that invites them to take a look at it. So let's practice our conversations in ways that open doors instead of close them. Have an awesome Wednesday. Got a couple of cool things on the agenda for today. We'll see how they go. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.